Hello, back again with another version of eggs. I call these Alfredo eggs, and you'll see why. It's kind of like eggs that are cooked in a very, very mildly garlicky Alfredo sauce. And again, I do not like eggs, and I particularly don't like scrambled eggs because the texture can get super rubbery or dry, and I am a texture girl, so that does not go over really well for me. So what I've got here is 2 tablespoons. I measured these out. So 2 tablespoons of salted butter that I am putting in the pan. You can go ahead and use any kind of fat here. I often do use bacon fat, but it just so happens that I am out of bacon fat right now. I need to make some more bacon. I do have some tallow. I don't like the flavor as much with tallow, so I am using butter, just regular salted butter. I would say most of the time I use this recipe, I use the bacon fat, but you can do whatever you want. It does work with coconut oil. Again, unless you're using the unflavored coconut oil, I don't love it very much, but again, you do what you like. As long as you're using about 2 tablespoons of a healthy saturated fat, that would be good. It does not work well if you're using an oil instead of a saturated fat. Okay, so I have it on a pretty good heat here. It's like 8 or 9. And I'm just melting the butter. And on the side, you'll see I am whisking together 3 eggs. There's nothing else in the bowl except for 3 eggs. And I'm using a metal whisk just to blend it together. It's not going to be perfect. It doesn't need to be because you're going to keep blending it some more. But this, just get it as much as you can while your butter is melting. Some people do like to add about a teaspoon, 1 to 2 teaspoons of water to the eggs as they blend them to make them more fluffy. It does add fluffiness, but I don't love that texture, that watery texture. So here I have added half a cup of 35% whipping cream, and then I mix it up. Now the goal here is to get this all incorporated so that the butter and the whipping cream all sort of come together. I like this kind of meal when I am trying to add a higher fat meal to the front end of my day. So today, the reason I chose to make this is I'm going to be gone till probably 4 o'clock this afternoon, and I'm going to be out, not available to eat at restaurants that have food that I can eat. So the best thing is for me to have a little bit of a higher fat content. There you saw I added just a pinch of garlic. The garlic is optional. You don't have to add it at all. I only do that once in a while. Some people are very sensitive to garlic. If that's you, just leave it off. But I do add every now and then as a special treat about maybe, it's like a pinch if you're actually using a measure, about a pinch of garlic. When it gets to be frothy like that, that's when I add in my eggs and I begin to whisk right away. So I whisk while it's really hot and frothy. The goal is to not let it chunk up right away. So as soon as there's even a little bit of thickening, I switch from my whisk into my spatula and I continue to stir. And you can see the lumps are beginning to form there. And so what's happening is all of the cream and butter, which was incorporated into kind of an Alfredo sauce, is now completely mixed in with the egg. And you can see it's thickening up really nicely. Don't let it sit too long. Keep it stirring because you don't want it to brown or harden or get lumpy. At least that's my thinking because I don't love lumpy eggs and I don't like the texture. So as you can see, once it starts to, you can pull it away from the edge of the pan and the pan is like practically clean underneath. That's when it's getting done. You can do this as dry as you like. I don't like it perfectly dry. These eggs will never be completely dry, but they are delicious. So once they're about like this, you can plate them and serve them, and you are ready to have a delicious Alfredo cheese breakfast. Enjoy.